All right, so hi there, good evening. How are you, Jose? Is everything okay?
Hi Jose, how are you? I'm good.
Great, that's great to know. So let's just start, please, with today's practice. As I told you, we're going to be reading some articles, we're going to be watching some videos or part of those videos to start working our speaking practice. Now, we're going to start today with this article, okay? Dates from August 25th, which is, all right, not that far away, 2022. And it's research from Yale University. Okay, this is Science Daily. It's a very interesting webpage in which you can practice. I think if you're getting ready for the TOEFL, you can come here and try to read articles from different fields of a study, because be sure that in the TOEFL you are going to have, right, a reading material related to a variety of different scientific fields. So that's what we're going to try to practice, all right? We're going to try to start, please, by reading this information over here. Read everything over there, please.
Okay, what make the human brain different? A study reveals clues. Date August 25, 2022. Source Yale University. Summary. What made the human brain distinct from all of the of all other animals, including even our closest primate relatives, in an analysis of cells type in the prefrontal cortex of four primate species. Researchers identify species-specific, particularly human-specific features they report.
Great, perfect. Let's just repeat, please, these words over here. How do you read these two words one more time, please?
Primate relatives.
All right, we're going to change that a little bit. This is going to be like primate, okay, primate, and this is going to be like relatives. You know, relatives like in your family, right? So let's repeat,
Okay,
please, those two, primate relatives.
primate relative.
Great. So the primate relatives, right, are those animals that are close to us in terms of the DNA structure, right? So we are similar in terms of the DNA structure, so we should have things in common. But what makes the human brain different? All right, that's the idea. That's what we need to learn here. The introduction is exactly the same as you read over here. All right, so we're going to go directly to the first paragraphs, please. And that's the thing we're going to do. Let me do that again. I'm going to zoom that. I'm going to be marking some words. We're going to read all that information now, please. The words that I'm going to mark are going to be related to pronunciation if it's necessary. And I'm also going to pay attention to some important words, and you're going to try to explain those words in context. Okay, but let's start, please. Let's read these first paragraphs over there.
Okay, and they found that what makes us human may also make us susceptible to the dangerous psychiatric disease. For the study, researchers looked specifically at the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, a brain region that is unique to the primates, primates and essential for higher order cognition. Using a single source RNA sequencing techniques, they profile expression levels of genes in hundreds of thousands of cells collected from the deep GPFC of adult humans, chimpanzees, macaques, and marmoset monkeys. Today we view the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex as the core component of human identity, but still we don't know what makes this unique in a human and distinguishes us from other primate species, says Nidan Sestan, the Harvey and the Kate Cushing Professor of Neuroscience at Yale, Professor of Comparative Medicine of Genetics. and of psychiatry and the lead senior author of the paper. Now we have more clues.
Great, very good. Okay, so before getting to these elements, and again, I think your reading is great in general. We're just going to try to readjust details in terms, again, not because there are mistakes in pronunciation, but sometimes only the stress needs to be in a different place, all right? But before going there, please, what can you tell me about the information that you just read? What do you believe it's important to mention over here, Jose? What summary can you give me from these paragraphs?
It's the meaning. It's a brain region that it's unique to primate and essential for a higher order cognition. I think is it's like the summarize.
All right, okay, good. So let's try to explain then some other details. I'm going to ask specific things. So for example, what are some primate relatives that we have? What do you say?
What are relatives? Relatives, like like the levels of gen 100,000.
All right, but more than that, we need to mention some specific species, right? As
Ah,
human
okay,
beings, which ones are our primate relatives?
okay. Adult human, chimpanzees, macaque, and marmoset monkeys.
Good, it would be from this part, right? Because we are part of the adult humans. So yes, the chimpanzees, those are the closest, right? In terms of DNA, the chimpanzees are very, very close to us. It's up to 98% in terms of similarity, right? So we need to understand what's that 2% that is not similar between chimpanzees or chimps and the adult humans. Okay, good. That's one. So these are our primate relatives. Then, what part of the brain? And again, everything is here in these two or three paragraphs, 2 paragraphs and 2 lines. What part of the brain is very like remarkable in the human brain?
It's the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex.
Good, that's correct. That's correct. And if I ask you, just try to analyze the words. Perhaps also you know this one, all right? But where in your head, where can you find that part of the brain? Do you believe, I don't know, right? Is up there, is at the side, is on the back? Where can you find if you need to point out where that part of the brain is, Jose?
It's it's the it's to the right of my brain at back back. I don't know.
Okay, all right, good. We're going to analyze that one again, all right? Good. Now, the last question, okay? One more, and then we get um, to the words that I marked over there. So in these paragraphs, do we have the answer for what makes us, all right, what makes us different from our primate relatives? Do we have the answer over here or not yet?
The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. No,
Yeah, that's correct. That's something unique to us, but still, right, we don't have the specific answer for, they say here, right? But we still don't know what makes this unique in humans and distinguishes, right, us from other primate species, right? So we have that's a very important, okay? That's a very, very important element because the prefrontal is something very unique to us, but we don't know yet what's different about it that makes us humans. All right. Now, with that said, we're going to repeat these words over here, please. How do you read this word one more time?
susceptible,
All right, let's only change the stress, please. It's going to be susceptible. A little bit more over here, please. Susceptible.
susceptible,
Good. How do you read this one?
neuropsychiatric,
Okay, it's going to be also in this part, right? Neuropsychiatric. Okay, psychiatric. Let's read one more time, please.
neuropsychiatry,
Psychiatric. Good. What?
psychiatric,
Psychiatric. Great. What about this word?
region,
Region. That's perfect. This word, it's
primate,
the
primate,
primates.
primate,
Primates. Good. What about this one?
gens,
That A is going to change to E, so it's going to be genes. Let's repeat that one, please.
genes,
The genes, correct. This one, it's a little bit tricky because there's a lot of mistakes related to this word. How do you read this word?
adult,
Adult. Yes, correct. I think it's good. Adult. What about this one?
component,
Okay, only the stress. The pronunciation is great. Only the stress is going to be component. Component. One more time, please.
component,
And instead of component, it has to be
component,
component. Component.
com component,
There you go. Exactly.
okay,
Component. Great. What about this one? This is a tricky verb.
distinguishes,
And make this more noticeable. Distinguishes. Distinguishes.
distinguishes,
Okay, good. Also to reinforce, right? Remember, this is going to be like new, so it's going to be like neuroscience. Neuroscience, okay. And this one, very good. And the last word, please.
psychiatry.
Psychiatry. Great. There you go. All right. That's it on my side. I don't know if you have any questions. We're going to read at least one more paragraph, but I don't know if you have any questions so far. Let me know, please. So I couldn't hear very well. I don't know if it was because of the connection. I couldn't hear the answer, please.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, good. So there you go. Let's continue. At least this last one. And again, then we're going to try to explain some words, all right? Perhaps not today, but we're going to work on that next conversation. So let's read this one more paragraph, please.
Okay, I start.
Yes, please, let's start.
To answer these, the researchers first asked whether there are any cell types uniquely present in the humans or other analyzed non-human primates species. After grouping cells with the similar expression profiles, they revealed 109 shared primate cell types, but also 5 that were not common to all species. These include a type of microglia or brain specific immune cells that was present only in humans, and a second time shared by only humans and chimpanzees.
There you go. Very good. So again, what summary can you give me from this only paragraph?
That there are any cell types uniquely present in humans.
And what is the meaning of that idea? Why is that information important?
Why? What is this information important? To to compare the type of microprotein or immune cell.
Okay, yes, I think we are on the right track. Yes, the idea here is that we need to find all those important and very little elements that are going to help us understand why we are different to other primates, right? Why we got to evolve in the way we did, and why we behave in a very specific and unique and distinctive way, right? Different to other primates and different to other animals in general, right? So far, in the universe, it seems that we are the only species like that, but of course, we don't know, right? It's very likely that there are other species that perhaps even are more evolved, but we don't know, right? That's just an idea. But let's get finished, please, by reading these words. Jose, how do you read this word one more time?
Ask.
Okay, good. And to make the ed, because it's okay, right? When you say ask, how can you put a little bit more emphasis on the last ed?
Ask.
Okay, asked. Great, right? So you have the last at the end, right? Asked, asked. Great. What about this word?
Reveal it.
Okay, let's change that a in this part to an e, please. So it's going to be in pronunciation. So it's going
Re
to be
reveal.
revealed.
Rebuild.
Revealed. Great. What about this one?
Include.
Now, include is the base form. And you
Include.
have a D.
Include.
But good. But now, in this case, this is different. Why? Because the K is not as strong. So you can say asked, asked, asked. That's great. But here, you cannot say that include. So what you have to do is you have to make the ED noticeable. Okay, only
Oh,
when you have a D and when you have a T, you're going to pronounce the ED. So it's going to be included,
included.
included.
Okay,
Great, there
included.
you go. Included, perfect. And this one is only going to change this E to I. It's going to be microglia. Let's repeat that one, please.
Microglia.
The
Microglia.
micro. Very good, right? A specific cell components that we have that work next to the neurons that help our brain and our nervous system work, right? And make us the way we are. So that's it. Again, the main purpose here, Jose, and you're going to tell me if you feel okay with this, is that we are getting used to this type of vocabulary. We're getting used to also pronouncing and using these words. In the next conversation, we're not only going to read, but we're going to use some of those words that we were taking a look today, so that when you are facing any test, all right, you are able to understand everything in a very, very clear way, but also you're able to express yourself by using these words, all right, without any problems. Now we're taking a look at this neurological, let's say, content, but we're also going to check something related to environment, to technology, and in health we have many other possibilities. All right, but the idea is that you're ready when you are taking the TOEFL or any international test to understand and express yourself, all right, using different types of vocabulary. But I don't know if you have any questions to finish today. Let me know, please.
I'm okay.
Good, good. All right, so we're going to continue working on this same article on Thursday, and also we're going to work on some examples. All right, with that said, let's finish, please. I'm going to send the survey. We have also surveys after every conversation. They call it like a call, okay, but this is not a call,
Oh,
this
okay.
is one conversation. So fill that out, please, and that's it for today. Thanks for being here. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Done.
Perfect. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.